Greetings, loved ones. Sexual exploration and play are a natural part of child sexual development. And it helps children not only to learn about their bodies, but also about the social and cultural rules that govern sexual behavior. Today we're beginning a series on how to cope with the legal process in a case of child sexual abuse. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button and the notification bell, and please share these messages with others. You never know, you could save a life. So let's begin with understanding and coping with sexual behavior problems in children. Sexual exploitation and play, as I said at the beginning, are a natural part of childhood sexual development. And it helps the children not to only learn about their own bodies, but about the social and cultural rules that govern sexual behaviors. Some childhood sexual behaviors, however, indicate more than harmless curiosity. In some cases, sexual behaviors pose a risk to the safety and well-being of the child and other children in his or her world. These sexual behavior problems tend to continue even after the child has been told to stop or limit the behavior, and usually have one or more of the following characteristics. The activities are clearly beyond the child's developmental stage. For example, a 3-year-old attempting to kiss an adult's genitals. It usually involves threats, force, or aggression, and it involves inappropriate or harmful use of sexual body parts, for example, inserting objects into the rectum or vagina. This behavior can also involve children of widely different ages or abilities, such as a 12-year-old playing doctor with a 4-year-old. And these behaviors are associated with strong emotional reactions in a child, such as anger or anxiety, and it will interfere with typical childhood interests and activities. Sexual behavior problems frequently involve other children, including younger children, siblings, and friends. No one knows how many children develop sexual behavior problems during their lives, although the number of cases being referred to Child Protective Services and the juvenile justice system has risen over the last 2 decades. It is not clear if these referrals represent a true increase in the number of children with sexual behavior problems or increased public recognition of the problem, or a combination of both. It is known, however, that sexual behavior problems are not limited to any particular group of children. They occur in children across all age ranges, socioeconomic levels, cultures, living circumstances, and family structures, and are not related to children's sexual orientation. Some children with sexual behavior problems have married parents, and some have divorced parents. Some have abuse histories, while others have no history of abuse or other trauma. But children with sexual behavior problems are children first. And with proper treatment, children with these problems can learn to have respect for themselves and others, and to demonstrate healthy boundaries and behaviors. So, what are the causes of sexual behavior problems? There are many possible reasons why children may show these behaviors that are inappropriate or unexpected for their age. And in general, children's sexual behavior problems are rarely about sexual pleasure. In fact, these behaviors are much more likely to be related to anxiety, traumatic experiences, curiosity, poor impulse control, or other factors. And some of the factors that have been linked to the development of sexual behavior problems include exposure to traumatic experiences such as abuse, natural disasters, or accidents, exposure to violence in the home, excessive exposure to adult sexual activity or nudity in the home, including media exposure through television or the internet. It also includes inadequate rules about modesty or privacy in the home and inadequate supervision in the home, often because of parental factors such as depression, substance abuse, or frequent absences due to work. Children with sexual behavior problems often show other behavioral and social difficulties, including impulsiveness and a tendency to act before they think. They have difficulty following rules and listening to authority figures at home, in school, and in the community. They have problems making friends their own age and have a tendency to play with much younger children. And they have a limited ability to self-soothe, calm themselves down. So they may touch their own genitals, masturbate, as a way to release stress and calm down. Although some children who have sexual behavior problems have a history of being sexually abused, many children who act out sexually have not been sexually abused. Sexual abuse may be suspected when a child reports that another person has touched his or her private parts or has had contact with a known sexual abuser. If you know or suspect sexual abuse of a child who is displaying sexual behavior problems, contact your state child welfare authorities immediately to conduct an investigation. If you're not sure who to contact, I'm going to give you some names here. It'll be in our description. You can contact the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4CHILD or 1-800-422-4453. You can also go to the website of the federally funded Child Welfare Information Gateway at childwelfare.gov. And for additional information on recognizing and preventing sexual abuse, visit stopitnow.org and the National Child Traumatic Stress Network, nctsn.org. According to the CDC, over half of all the children in the world, let's think about this, over half of all the children in the world, that's 1 billion children ages 2 to 17, experience violence every year. The question is not if you'll encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. Micah 6:8 says, He has showed you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. That's active. Do justice, love mercy, walk humbly with your God. Do, love, walk. You are called. We are all called to be champions for justice. There is a way out. It is not your fault. Abuse is not love. And most of all, I want you to know that you are not alone. If you are suffering violence, reach out to someone today. If you find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911 for help. If you know of a child or other person suffering violence, tell the authorities. In our next episode, we will continue this series on how to cope with the legal process in a case of child sexual abuse and talk about what to do when you discover your child has a sexual behavior problem. Until then, God bless you.